Hey, good morning, friends. It's Joy with Decor. I've been doing color palettes, and I'm going to take one of my color palettes. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, but I'm not sure if I planned it a couple of weeks ago or I posted it. And I'm going to put together something from this inspiration from this palette. Isn't that just gorgeous? I'm not going to do a wreath. I'm going to do an arrangement. I've had these containers. I've got 4 of them for a while and haven't done anything with them. I love that black and cream filigree. It is slotted and I can't remove the slots, so I'll just treat it like it's not slotted and kind of build the arrangement down in the slots and see how that goes. So pull some things, colors from that palette, and I'm going to go in the attic and see what else I have, but kind of some of those acid green and middle green, and then the raspberry pink, and there's some plums in there, and I've got this that's kind of that plummy, and I'm just gonna let it unfold kind of organically and see what happens. So I'll film it and we'll see how it goes. Okay, here's some more stuff I pulled out of the attic. I certainly have more than I'm going to need, but I just brought it in here and I can take it back. As far as the raspberry pink and kind of a tropical look, I have this in my stash. I have some vibrant pink peonies, or peonies, however you say it. I say it one way one day and one way another. I have these kind of acid green. I guess these are peonies. And then I have it. So anyway, it's going to be fun. So I've switched my view to an overhead, and you see me start to fit my floral foam into the container. I push down on it and it kind of makes the mark where I need to cut it. And I just have a dedicated paring knife that I like to cut my foam with. And so I cut the foam and start piecing it together and carving it. It doesn't have to be exactly precise because I'm going to cover that with moss here in a minute. So get those slots all filled and cut some thin slices to fill in some little gaps there. And it's kind of a messy job, so you'll have to sweep up along the way. And so now I'm taking my moss and starting to measure what I'm going to need. This is a moss that I get from Amazon that you peel off the back and it just sticks down. You could use any kind of moss here, but I like working with this sheet moss. All right, so again, it doesn't have to be precise. You could fit it until it covers all that foam, and you're going to be adding so many florals on top. You probably could get by with no moss, honestly, the way this unfolds. Okay, so I'm getting my Lazy Susan, and I put the container on top of that so I can work on my arrangement. And here I'm taking, this is a Real Touch Orchid spray in a fuchsia pink that I'm starting to cut. In each stem, I'm able to get 2 cuts out of that. And so I do my cuts, and most things I didn't have to steel pick. That one in the middle I did not steel pick, or this on the side, but I decide the middle one needs to be a little taller, so I go back and add a double steel pick on it. So you can steel pick over a steel pick to add some height, and that's what I'm doing right here. Take that back out, and then you see I added a fuchsia peony right in the front there. So this is using that color palette. This is going to be a bright, vibrant summer tropical arrangement that's just going to be so much fun. So I'm cutting my second Real Touch Orchid spray and adding one again on the other side. So you see I have that kind of dispersed out. Now I'm going to add another peony to the other side. So those are kind of drooping over the side. Now I'm starting to cut up my fern. This is just a mixed fern bush. And I'm going to add that at the corners and have that draped down. And you see I have my inspiration picture there. They never end up exactly like your inspiration, but it gives you a guide of how to mix some colors up together. And our goal here is to use the color palette that I showed you. That's the whole purpose of doing this arrangement. All right, so love working with Lazy Susan. You can just spin that around, and as you cut up your greenery and start adding it, you can just spin it around and add it where you want to. So got that first element of greenery added, and there'll be a lot more as we go along. And now I'm going in. This is called a baby's breath greenery. I've worked with it before, but it gives us that perfect limey green color that we need in that color palette, and I'm just sprinkling some of that around to introduce that limey green color. Okay, and now I called that a peony earlier, but I believe it's a ranunculus in that limey green color that I'm going to add a couple of those, one on each side. And now I'm going back in with some beautiful artificial mixed fern that I had left over from a previous project. Absolutely just loved that fern. And I'm just letting that drape organically down the side. So you see me add more fern. And that's already starting to fill up that container. And as you see, you no longer see that that's a slotted container. It looks like a solid one. So now I'm going back in with another Real Touch orchid in a purple to introduce some of that purple color in there. And now this is just another piece of greenery that I had left over that gives us, it's not quite as lime green as the other, but it's kind of leans in that family and will give us a different kind of texture in there. And that's what you're always looking for: texture, dimension, fullness, all of those things. And now I want to drape some fern down the side, so I do that. Now I'm going in with that, oh, beautiful Love in the Mist spray that I had from my previous project. I just love those, and they look so tropical, which is perfect with this project. And you see me steaming that a little bit, and that gives us our very light pink color that was in that palette there that we're working with. And now I have some fuchsia tropical flowers that I had left over from last year, and I'm just adding little pieces of that here and there, filling that up so I get those fuchsia pieces around on each corner. Okay. Now I've going back in with another orchid, just sprinkling that pink color out. And now I've got another lime green that's called a lamb's ear leaf spray in a lime green. And I cut that into small pieces and start sprinkling that around all throughout the arrangement. And that gives us a lot of separation and really makes that palette just really pop. So I'm really, really loving this tropical vibe that we've got going on here with all these bright colors. And, I don't have a sign. I don't have any ribbon that's inspiring this. It is all driven from that color palette that I showed y'all that it just caught my eye. And I wanted to show you how to use a palette. So you don't always have to have ribbon or a sign to build off of. You could take colors you like and that, and that go well together. I never build anything without having my color wheel there so I can make sure that the colors complement each other. And boy, do they in this arrangement. So it's just bright, vibrant, and that's just really going to look great on somebody's table or console table, a side table, an island. It's just going to really give us that summertime feel. So I'm holding it up for you there, and I'll get some better pictures later, but you can see how quickly that came together.